Hell yeah. There we go. Okay. Oh my god. Very well, gentlemen. Why did I get pinged? Wow. Okay. Okay, gentlemen. Guys, please. Okay. Not sandworm. What? Earthworm. Oh my god. Okay. Let's get going, guys. Your party has begun traveling again with a new member in tow, a Shingly Keys. Like I said, you're proceeding through some very mountainous terrain, as Shingly Keys explains things. We're coming upon the Ghostly Mountains. These things have been here since before the Enoch, though of course they've shifted position quite dramatically. We think, I do think that it shall be an easy travel with that tunnel that worm so helpfully created for us. And so your party will travel with yet another member in tow. Occasionally you'll catch sight of distant creatures, strange shapes in the distance, and things flying in the skies, but Shingly Keys is quick to steer you all out of the way, and indeed, you manage to escape notice. Eventually, you will come upon the ethereal mountains. As you near around a larger rocky hill, with the water trailing down it, much like among the other hills. This whole place is like a soaking plateau. You will see the Ghost Mountains in their entirely strange glory. The mountains, though looking strange, are famed for a certain consistency. That consistency is a mix between rock and pudding. Famously difficult to travail, most people, there's only a few passes that are easy to get through. And even then, only if you're a Goron. But even then, the the mountain was known for giving off very unusual colors. And indeed, it was said to be haunted with many different spirits within it. Bodhigaya has always been a soulful place, and that applies to the undead as well. Shingly Keys will direct you to a tunnel coming up ahead. And in the and you can see that the tunnel has indeed uh, is indeed a well carved path in the middle. Although it is rather haphazard, you can see the worm has apparently made quite a few loop de loops, leaving a kind of irregular travel all the way through it. They're perfectly safely record. Yes, let's go with that. That is a great way of looking at it. Yes, I like you. Very well, gentlemen. Would you like to enter? Once we get through here, we'll be straight in Bodhigaya, gentlemen. Indeed. It's not like there haven't been other places in the other continents to explore. For the past 100 years, from what I've heard, they've been resettling everywhere. They only recently resettled all of Asiata, but now that every other continent's filled up, well, we got visitors streaming in to Bodhigaya. I mean, not to Bodhigaya, to Burismia. And Bodhigaya, no offense to your dragon noodle here, but she leans back on the cart. Bodhigaya is a great place for agriculture and a wonderful place for peace and harmony, but with all due kindness, it isn't resource rich. So no wonder it was one of the last places to be conquered. Well, other than the Gnomish lands. Again, no offense to your dragon noodle. I'm sure your people fought so hard. Right. Right. No civilization needs iron. You're right. You did have very good. You did have very good plants. I have my family back at home in Asiata. They have some very nice furniture left over from before the Enoch. And with that, you see the tunnel up ahead. The tunnel is kind of like I want you to imagine like a freestanding pile of gray mud. That's basically what it looks like, where it's like a freestanding hollow bit of gray mud inside of these mountains here, with everything so clay like and difficult. Even the ground you're starting to walk on is getting incredibly isn't getting incredibly difficult. Fushari, the answer is magic. Much like there are floating islands in the sky, sir. Yes. Yes. Apparently the gnomes had one, but she laughs to herself. That's long gone. Yes. Oh, you'll be doing that a lot here. Yes, the tunnel was still stable enough when I passed through it, and it should be stable enough for you. And like I said, once we're through it, straight shot to Bodhigaya. There are plants, but they're more shrub-like because you're in a very rocky terrain right now. There's not a lot of thick soil here. It's it's like stone mud. Like imagine the stone, like imagine you're walking on Play-Doh. That's this entire place. It's like clay-like, but the entire thing looks like stone. Yeah, there's an idea. Hmm, there's an idea. There's some very small trees. They're only about 10 feet tall, with some thin trunks, but you could probably make a few skis out of them, especially for the cart. Do you have carpentry tool proficiency? Does anybody have carpentry tool proficiency? You need to know how to actually build something, my dudes. I'm sorry. A ski's more complicated than that to hold a cart, but I'll let you roll a knowledge check, okay? I'm gonna put the DC at 16. Intelligence, just roll straight int. Yep. Okay. Soren, you once built some skis with a carpenter, and he taught you how to make them. Thankfully, you still have some faint memory of it. And you guys will take the several hours to construct the whole thing. Eventually, you have a pair of competently made skis. They're pretty dang cool. Yeah. Great. Put them at 100 pounds. The mud is moisturous. Uh, think of it as like more slow moving. Like imagine Play-Doh with a bunch of pressure on it, but it's like dripping freely occasionally. Mm. No, it's not muddy because it's wet. You can. Yeah, you can. More surface area will still help. Yeah. Yep. You can see that the tunnel up ahead has a lot of funny looking bugs in the stone around where the worm furrowed in it. These bugs appear maggot like, and most are dead, but some are still alive, and you can see some are gorging upon each other. Yes. Go ahead. Nature. I'm afraid you don't know, good sir. Fushuri, could you please roll me a nature check? Okay. Yeah. I meant to say Arcana, but I'm gonna give you the same rule in that since you got the nat 20, it's the same bonus. Uh, Fusure, there is a story in Bodhigaya, long ago before it fell apart, where you take a large collection of bugs and store them together in a jar, and you bury the jar. A few months later, you check the jar, and the last remaining bug will be one steeped, will be the one that consumed all the other ones. These bugs are said to have latent magical powers, but a cursed power. And it seems to be playing out on this trail that the worm left here. As you can see, numerous bugs have been consumed over time, and the ones left are slightly larger than maggots would normally be. This worm is literally leaving a trail of cursed bugs behind it. What do you think it's indicative of? Are you gentlemen ready to go? Very well. Everyone got your snowshoes on. Okay. You you begin walking into this place. You've built some. Gerald has taken the few hours it takes to craft some basic snowshoes. They don't work. They're not going to work that well, but they are going to help walk. I'm going to roll all of your movement speeds are reduced by 5 feet while inside this mountain tunnel. Okay. If you had not built the snowshoes, they would have been reduced by half. Smile. Uh, the wagon will be proceeding at its no, at its normal speed, but that is only thanks to the ostrich and the mule pulling the wagon. Indeed. You got your party will proceed. Gosh, now I'm like distracted by the fucking Elcor. God damn it! I'm so God, please. Oh my god. Anyway, castling this guy. God damn it. Anyway, your party will begin proceeding through the mountain, and you will come to your first obstacle in the journey about 3 hours in. You see that there has been a large cave in front of your path, cutting off the tunnel midway through. The cave-in seems to have been is kind of looks kind of weird and droopy. Like imagine a large piece of like slightly dry bread dough just having fallen down in the middle of this path. It didn't fall on us, did it? it is you're in a tunnel that is roughly 50 feet wide, and then it's about 30 feet tall, and the entire thing seems to have like come in here. You can't see anything on the other side, really. There's a few. It's kind of like seeped in, kind of like again like bread dough, just filling in this part of the tunnel. Okay. You begin doing that, and you are able to move this earth as if it was a loose earth. It is not going to be rigid like stone. You begin shaping some of it away. You get through a first layer, and then a second layer, and a third layer, and you can see through the other side. It's only about a 15-foot blockage. But then you see more of this strange clay like substance just going back to fill things in. It just kind of seeps back in. Shingly Keys will speak up. Bear in mind, you want to get your wagon through. Okay. You begin trying to make it, trying to wipe it out as fast as you can, moving the mud out of the way as it just keeps filling itself in. No, it's like more is like falling in. Yes. Yes. Imagine a slow moving honey avalanche. Okay. Okay. The water does not mix with the stone. It'll kind of like sit on top of the it'll kind of sit on top of the stone, but as you shape the water around it, do you have water? Oh, you create a bunch of water, and then you start shaping it around, freezing the ceiling as much as you can. And at first, the ice will crack, but it will not crack entirely. And you see Fushuri start trying to build it up, and soon you have a kind of like ice archway in front of you. Just you can hear it cracking and snapping, but it's holding for now. Do you have create water as a druid spell? You get to create water once a day as a dragonborn, sir. Okay, you have it as a druid spell. Okay, very well. You'll create water as a druid spell this time, and that will finally be enough to form a rigid archway here. And soon you have very slopey tunnel now, but it should be enough that your pack animals will be able to haul it over. You all move over it. It takes a few minutes to get over because of the sloped terrain and the fact that the ground sinks slightly whenever you step down. It's like stepping in like slushy mud, where it's both like weird and cold because you're in the center of this mountain, away from like any inherent heat, and you're also just stepping through this plodding stone. But soon you manage to get over the slope, and you're on the other side. Well, there you all go. Bit of ingenuity. Not out of the tunnel, but on the other side of this blockage. Well, there you all go. A bit of ingenuity, and we're finally through. Now, aren't you glad you hired me? Yep. As you proceed through the tunnel, Shingly Keys will start giving you more instructions. Up ahead, there's an underground river flowing through this mountain. It seems to be a naturally formed cavern that the worm burrowed into, uh, unleashing this kind of place that's been carved out by the water from the mountains. It shouldn't be any concern. I'm sure we can all handle it. And the water isn't deep enough to worry the cart. Yes, this is how I got into Bodhigaya. It wasn't there. Okay. Can I ask your marching orders, please? Last? Thamior last, right? Christiana will guard the cart. If you're sure, it will be like 10 feet ahead or more. How far ahead do you want to be? Okay. Gerald, where will you be? So with Christiana. Okay. The ostrich doesn't seem to hold umbrage with the elk. It just holds umbrage with the mule. Very well. Okay, so right behind the cart. Yovan will be with you, and Thamur will be... I'll put you 10 feet back, okay, sir? Sound good. Very well. You see, you come to this you start walking through here, and you do come upon a spring. If I mean not a spring, a slow flowing stream underground here through this tunnel. The worms kind of rampage redirected the path of this a lot, from what I can tell. I see there's another cavern where the water led to, but I didn't dare go down there. For all my luck, it could have been a dead end or fed into a deep underground pool. And as much as I can breathe in there, I would likely starve. What's oxygen? And your party will start walking. Oops, your party will start walking through this through this formation, and it's really weird. It's kind of like a half-open cave, but there's like strange membranes of stone stretching across you. And you can see water is flowing haphazardly in here as if finding a new path. This is certainly not an old formation here, with the water going all sorts of different directions. I'm going to bring you to the map. It's like a heavier form of clay. Except it won't dry out like clay, but okay. Yep. Yep. Fusure, why are you emitting light? Okay. Did you... Okay. I was just wondering, because... There we go. Okay, gentlemen. But as you're taking in the site, you start to see some light rounding around the corner. Around a corner nearby. And there, you'll see some strange sights. I see. There we go. You'll see these things. Allow me to show you them. They fly above the maggots in the ground here, above the water, sending out strange jolts of sudden electricity. They have... Give me a second. They have these tusks on them, and these blue shocking tendrils. I'm going to... oh, the artwork isn't showing. Oh my gosh. Give me a second. Tusks. There we go. Copy image. I'm placing it in group 1. I mean in general 4. Fuck. There we go. There. This is what they look like. Their wings are moving rapidly, flapping like hummingbirds as they zoom around. Those wings underneath the frill there. They seem to be flying gently towards your party here, along the path that the worm took. Which of you have explored the true wilds of the Enoch in your backstory? Nature check, Gerald. No. Slowly fluttering towards you. Why pause? Why pause? Why pause? Why pause? No. Okay. And with that, let's begin initiative. Roll initiative, everybody. Okay, Cristiano will roll. Shingalukis will speak up. If you die, I'm fleeing and leaving your corpses behind. And then coming back to salvage them later. No. Well, I did see them earlier, but I avoided them. Thaumior! Sorry, I'll let Fushure go first in the surprise round to open up with the Sleet Storm, and then we'll get back to Thaumior. Fushure. Oh my god. Like here? Okay. Okay. Distance 40 feet. Okay, there we go. This good? Yeah. But it will knock him prone. Give me a second. Let me measure this out. So it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. Uh, what's wrong with the template tool then? Uh, width 40. Okay. And they will have to make a dexterity saving throw when they start their turn. Thomir, you go ahead. An Eldritch Blast sounds good. Okay. First one you throw forward at the tusked skyfish, aiming at the one in the middle. 16 will hit, dealing 2 damage, and then you unleash 5 feet, not 10. I think it's 10. Yeah, because Renauld uses it all the time in Group 1. Okay. Anything? Okay. Sorry. Anything else on your on the first thing, Thomur? Okay. These tusk skyfish are not surprised, but this one will have start its turn here, so it will have to make a dex save or fall prone. It will pass, even though they only have a dex +2. Feels good. Uh, it will suddenly turn around and zoom itself forward, dashing, getting up to here as you see its tendrils flying over the place as they start to crackle with electricity. Gerald. Oh my god. Yeah, he's pulling the cart. I'm gonna rule it as an action, I'm afraid. Nine will miss. You get us another one because it's level. Yeah, it's character level. That will hit. Unfortunately, not critting, but it will do 7 force damage against the tusked skyfish, as they'll make a sound. Yep. This doesn't do damage. Oh my god. Okay. Very well. This thing will make a dex save or fall prone. Saving throw. It will pass as well. Oh my fucking god. Dashing forward 40 feet. and then the next one will be Christiana, and she will unleash her longbow upon the closest one and hit for 3 piercing damage. Soren. Hmm. Okay. I'm gonna I'm gonna play some music here. Go ahead and mute it if you want. Oh wait, wrong one. Nope, ignore that. Fuck. I want the. Oh my god. Stop. Oh my fucking god. Just. I don't want the fucking playlist. I just want to play this video. What the fuck? Okay. No. Oh my god. I hate this. Sorry. Now I'm gonna play the music. Thank you. Oh, and I somehow pressed a key that brought me to my home screen. I don't know. There we go. Okay. Here's... Yes. What the fuck? There we go. Very well. There we go. As you unleash a web upon them, and the web is the webs aren't anchored between the collapses on itself, so it's going to be on top of them, and then it's going to collapse on them. Okay. Here, I specified that the height was 30 feet. Yeah. How high up they're floating? Only 5 feet up in the air. You can definitely hit them. Don't get me wrong. It's just that it won't attach to the ceiling. So it'll absolutely drape over them. And they'll have when they start their turn, must make dexterity saving throws. Okay. Wait. Starts its turn or enters them. It makes another save if it fails. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Well, it's not. They're not on the ground on the sleet spell, so they're not going to have to save. It's only difficult terrain on the ground with a sleet storm. Actually, wait. That's actually I'm not sure about the ruling on that because maybe they do fall prone anyway. Because it says the ground is difficult terrain, but sleet storm flying creatures. Let me look that up. Sleet storm and flying creatures. I don't think there's actual sage advice on this. Uh no. If they can't see the Yes, okay. Okay. From what I'm seeing, everyone seems to agree they will be affected in the air, so we'll have to make 2 saves in there. Okay. Sounds good. Anything else, Soren? Okay. This one, the ground is difficult terrain, but they are knocked prone. And that one made a nat 20 on the save. And if it makes you feel better, I'm not going to hit with any of their attacks, so it's all works out in the end in payroll. Thaumior. Hell yeah. 8 will miss Thaumior. Yep. 23 will hit. Which one are you targeting again? The middle one? Okay. It will be hit for 10 force damage as you continue hearing sparking electricity and the squeal of pain like a cockroach being stepped on. Anything else, Thaumior? Yes, sir. I will knock it back 10 feet. Very well. Fusure! How's the cart supposed to turn around, you fools? He'll take the dodge action? Great. Anything else, Fusure? Wonderful. Yep. Okay. Tusk Skyfish turn. You've pushed out of the web, so it will take advantage of that, moving here, and then thank you for reminding me. Dex save. It will fail. Being knocked prone to the ground, falling upon the icy ground there. Boop. It will stand up, costing 10 feet of movement. 20. Yep, 10 feet is half its movement. And then it will get here, ending its turn. Gerald. It can only fly 20 feet at a time, so it has to dash to move 40 feet. Gerald. To be clear, even though their wings are beating rapidly like a hummingbird's, these are bulky creatures, you know? Like they're large jellyfish kind of things floating in the sky with tusks, like elephants. What's the wisdom check for? You can do it, Gerald. I have faith in you. You can click the button. You cast Armor of Agathis, gaining 5 temporary hit points, sir. Yep. Okay, let me delete that. You make sure to restore that spell slot, sir. That's why Tundra Storm Herald is garbage, because their HP doesn't stack for your teammates. You will use Eldritch Blast, 12 missing and 18 hitting, targeting whom, sir? Okay, it will take 7 force damage. Anything else? Parry stance, understood. You will rip parry stance. Oh boy. Time to make 2 saving throws. Dex, saving throw, failure. It falls prone. Now it will save against the webs to see if it's restrained or not. PogChamp, let's see. Must make another dexterity saving throw or be restrained. It will pass the web saving throw. And it will stand up for 10 feet of movement. And let's see, will it be able to get to Gerald? It will. Moving through that terrain there. And it will swarm next to you as you feel electricity around you. As it will make a multi-attack. First, using a gore attack on Gerald. Missing with a 12. And then it will use its tentacles on you. Missing with a 7. Christiana's turn. As she will move forward. Get out of there, Gerald. She will fire a longbow and she will hit for 22, dealing 9 piercing damage against the tusked skyfish. Can you smite a ranged attack? No? I thought you could. Oh, okay. Soren. Oh.
But Fushuri, how is he supposed to knock him back?
Twin Guiding Bolt, yes, sir. Attacking Gerald. That will hit. Then the other one targeting this guy. And the next attack will have advantage on the first one. And the next attack will have advantage against this other one as well. These things are crackling with a lot of electricity, guys. Anything else, Soren? Tusk Skyfish turn. Yes, sir. Thanks for reminding me. Falls down. Hell yeah, it won't be able to dash to get near you all. It will only get close, but no cigar. Thaumior. They continue to fly towards your party, crackling with unrestrained power. Which one are you hitting, sir? That will hit. Hell yeah. And then 5 and 10. As it'll be knocked back here. And this one will be knocked back here. Taking 4. Anything else, Thaumior? Hell yeah. Fushuri. The team is starting to come together. You have hope. Although these things are powerful, you must be weary, good monk. Final Fantasy tactics. Bear stance, turning into a bear, coming forward at the creature. Give me a second. Let me bring out a... Where's the bear? There it is. Give me a second. I've never actually played Final Fantasy Tactics. Mr. Fushuri, you don't have armor on as a bear, correct? You're not made of metal. You don't have any metal on you is what I should specify, right? Good. May Make me a dexterity saving throw DC 11 with advantage. As you get near its tendrils hovering around there in the air, just splaying all around it. Yes. Physical stats are bears. Yes. Mr. Fusure, you will pass that, and you will avoid taking 3d6 lightning damage. The the bite and the claw will hit, dealing 6 piercing damage, and then the claw will strike true, dealing 9 piercing damage, tearing away one of its wings as the tusked skyfish will hiss at you. This one will begin its turn, and it will have to make a dex saving throw. Failure! It will fall prone! Oh wait, not incapacitated, prone. Bah! It will then stand up, dashing, but it can't make it within melee range. Gerald! Chris... Well... Well... It's funny you ask. Why? Why? Sure. Lightning. As you use Eldritch Blast on whom? Which of these three? Bottom one or middle one? Bottom one. Okay, hitting for 2, and then hitting for 7, killing the skyfish as it will suddenly deflate and go whizzing around. Wah! Flies overhead, just and then flop down in the water where it'll start to wash away down the stream. The ostrich will peck at it, tearing off some flesh as it floats by. Catch it with your rapier, tossing it back up on shore. Hell yeah. Anything... Oh, whoosh. Anything else, Gerald? Okay, it's got to make 2 dex saves. You guys are ready for this? Poggers. It failed both. As it falls over and is not only prone, but restrained, it will try to make a strength check, not a saving throw, a check. And it will fail. Christiana will listen to Gerald stepping on the shore, and she will fire her longbow, aiming for the one next to Fusure, and she will hit once again, dealing 10 piercing damage. Soren! Which one? The one next to Fusure? The one that's prone? It will make a con save. It will pass with a 21. It has good con. Anything else? Very well. It is this tusked skyfish's turn, and it will move over here. So that is next to both of you. But, to your good fortune, it will continue to thrash Fusure, as it will use a gore attack. Does 17 hit Fusure? Really? Even with bear stance? I mean, even with your monk? Oh my gosh, okay. Then, I'm sorry, but she will take 16 piercing damage. As its gore attack, it suddenly gores you with its tusks, impaling you, and you see it withdraw its tusks as leaving his pelt bloody. He's stabbed a great deep wound as the water will start to trace red with blood, and then its tentacles will attempt to wrap around Fushure, the tendrils spiraling out, slapping him, but he will manage to dodge out of the way. And that was close, because that's a 66 damage attack. Thaumior. Oh my gosh, and look at its path, dear lord. -3 and -10. Flying back 20 feet, gentlemen. And you know what? I'm going to put it here in the web. Yep. You hold on to Sleet Storm for now, Mr. Fushure. Anything else, Thaumior? Wonderful. Fushure! One's prone and restrained, and the other is probably going to be one of those two in a second. Watch the fun. Dodge action, Gerald. It saves on its turn. Yes. But does restrain help against ranged attacks? You know what? We can solve this easily because part of the better part of the combat utility belt is that it lists the conditions. So restrained becomes 0 and it can't benefit from bonus to speed. All attack rolls have advantages restrained, so it's normal. Okay, so you want to this one -3 and -3. Anything else, Gerald? Okay. Tusk Skyfish will try to strength check as an action to escape, and it will fail as it is still just stuck there. Yeah, it's getting slushed around a lot. Christiana will boldly go where no man is right now, and she will step up with her rapier, striking down with advantage and hitting a 10. She will quickly fall back. The creature will try to attack her, but it will have mad disadvantage and miss as she just easily dodges a weak thrust with its tusks. Soren. Oh, that will hit, and that will deal 9 radiant, killing it. As it falls to the ground, will also fall down the stream now. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Oh yeah, it also whizzes around a bit. You fish it up again. Anything else, Soren? What? Oh, Shingly. Okay, Shingly keys. Okay. No key? Like, You did you do it all for the Nookie? Ah, the Nookie. Sorry. Yeah. Thaumior. That will miss. Actually, wait. Yeah, it's normal. That will miss. Anything else? Future. Finish it. Put it out of its misery. Here we go again. And then you stamp down with your claws. And then finally, as it's starting to whiz by, you don't even let it whiz by. You punch it, and it will instantly pop, exploding into electricity and air. Just whoosh! And with that, initiative is over. Indeed. Congratulations, gentlemen. Yep. Uh, you want to pull out its tusks? Okay, go ahead. Make me a survival check. This isn't to say if you can get the tusks, it's just to see how much you can salvage. You can salvage most of it. A lot of it's just burnt off and flaked by its own electricity upon death, but... Yep. Yep. So go ahead and add 4 tusked skyfish tusks to your inventory, Thaumior, and those will weigh 10 pounds each. Okay. Your cart will start to creak dangerously. Yep. Like we've established before, your cart's near max load. Yep. Just go through the stream and it'll come back around to the proper tunnel. Like I said, the worms seem to have burrowed around here. It seems to like destroying underwater streams. I have no clue why. She shrugs. Maybe. I guess a large beast would need water, wouldn't it? Yep. As you see, as you proceed, as you proceed through the stream, you can see that the skyfish seem to have left a bit of a trail through here, splattering the worms with electricity, and it seems to have feasted on some of them. The maggots just fried by the shock of it. Breakfast. You can. Do you want to try eating the maggots? I see. Okay. It's like in Vampire Masquerade. He's one of those royalty vampires who are too proud to suck off the homeless. Of blood. Of blood. Of blood. Yep. And any possible hostiles, go ahead. If you sure you see something. You see the exit. It's very distant down this pathway. It's a straight shot though. It's about a you'd estimate it's about 500 feet up ahead down this way. Yep, as per my calculations, isn't it a good thing we took this stream, gentlemen? And this path. Man, thank you, Shingalikis. You know so much about Bodhigaya, Shingalikis. I'm glad we paid you, Shingalikis. You've done a good job of helping us, Shingalikis. So your party... And as you walk forward, you start to hear the wind blowing more and more. And as you come out, in front of you will be a large rocky pillar. Kind of like, so I'm going to draw on the map a little, on the home screen over here a little. Imagine this opening is the tunnel you're coming out of, right? So this is the tunnel. There's a large rocky pillar kind of stretching around here. And in the distance, you can see a kind of beautiful golden haze. As you see Fushure hurrying on ahead. This is the opening of the tunnel, obviously not to scale. And it kind of, and the rocky pill, and you can see the mountain kind of keeps stretching along here, kind of blocking your view, but you recognize this haze, Fushure. It's the fog of Bodhigaya. You all follow the excited Noodle, keeping up with him. Jovan and Christiana stay back with the cart, weary. But you will round around the opposite end. And then you will see something, Fushure. You will see in front of you the golden haze, but an illusion. As you see a gray, misty forest ahead of you, the trees laden with grayish leaves, and a large red lake, bubbling almost as if blood, but not quite, a magenta red, and above it, a single person floating above the water. You should not have come here. And you will see a green, hazy flame as suddenly he vanishes. Roll me a history check, Fushure. Fushure, you do not know him. But he does sound familiar, but you've never seen an outfit like that, but you do recognize the staff. All you guys heard was, "You should not have come here!" and a large yell followed by a strange flash. He ran up ahead in front of you guys. He was behind the rocky pillar. There's like a giant lake here. There's still a golden haze in the distance, but all around here is just is just a gray, sad forest. Okay, and then in here is the lake filled with weird red magenta liquid. Very well. As the cart will slowly come, as the cart slowly comes out with you all in front of it. Ah, glad we got, glad we all got out of there. Yes, I'm afraid to say that Bodhigaya has not weathered the Enoch well. Indeed. For a distance you can see around you. The gray is not as oppressive as you saw on that image of the strange floating individual. But it is still pretty drastic. The sky is a kind of hazy twilight, with the water a very unsettling color, and smelling like foul, like the water here smells stagnant, and of course it is a very different color than it should be. The trees flutter only slightly, an unsettling amount, almost consistent here. As Shingli Keys will pull up in the wagon, she will speak. Bodhigaya has always been a spiritual location, and it seems the regrets of the people wiped out has lingered behind. I'm afraid to say that the actions of the Temir Empire have not left it untouched. And I have some worse news, I'm afraid. Many of its residents still linger on. There are creatures here. Unusual creatures. People blended, affected by the Temir Empire's magics, mutated into beasts, meant to fight for the Temir Empire before its fall. I assure you that much of Bodhigaya looks better than this, but the taint here is especially strong. I'd attribute it to the closeness of the Temir Empire's territory. Somewhere northwest is said to be Ares, and we're next to the opaque tropics who have never touched Bodhigaya before the Enoch, and those were always the natural enemies of the Bodhigayans. We are in some dangerous lands, but some useful ones. Fortunately, I have an easier solution for you, gentlemen. She smiles widely. Would you like to hear it? I guess go ahead and make an insight check if you want. Gerald, she seems more proud of things, as if she's proud of just knowing this stuff, having already explored it. Come over here. You see that she has started drawing a basic map of Bodhigaya. Bodhigaya has 3 cultural centers within the lands, and I have narrowed down where these monsters seem to be stemming from. Let me widen this a little. There we go. There's the... Let me widen this just a little bit more. There we go. Over north of here is more Worm Trail. And then along that Worm Trail, the Heavy Tower. It used to be known as the Tower of Feather, as the tower literally weighed as much as a feather, built out of bamboo and with the innate magics of the monk's key. It's the spirits of the regrets of Bodhigaya since weighed it down, but I investigated it, and I know the monsters are coming from there, animated by it. At least most of them in the lower half of Bodhigaya. You conquer that tower, not only do you have a large watchtower for any fortification you want to build here, you've ended a lot of the monster threat in this lower part. To the east is the low valley of the rains. They're a land tainted by the sea monsters that rise up and rampage throughout the east of Bodhigaya, destroying the coast. But that coast is one of the most valuable coasts in the world, filled with pearls, fish, and valuable plants, trees that will form the best lumber you can possibly get. And then finally, up north, through the great gates, is the destroyed capital of Bodhigaya, Tabi Bodhi. That land was cursed before the Empire fell apart, cursed intentionally by the Temurians when they conquered Bodhigaya. But that place, more than anything, has a ready-made structure there. It has a teleportation circle, abandoned but still usable, and it has access to some of the rare, precious materials found in Bodhigaya: iron, silver, gold, copper, everything you could possibly need. In small amounts, mind you. But good luck importing them from anywhere else. These landmarks represent the 3 greatest locations of these monsters that I've tracked them stemming out from. They migrate, birthing or recovering in these locations, and then they slowly spread out, migrating throughout Bodhigaya, trying to hunt down anybody like us who dares explore this land. But I was faster and cleverer than them, and you all, well, you might just become powerful enough for them. If you choose to put forth the effort, of course. I have to say, it would be a good location to have enough to eat, although good luck strengthening it enough. You will doubtlessly need to import a lot of materials for yourself. I can continue going with you as you need, providing information. I still have more to draw for you, but, of course, exploring Bodhigaya, that's up to you. Fushure, you recognize these locations, although they weren't always called these. It appears Shingly Keys has renamed some. The mountain? You mean the one you just passed through? It would have been somewhere to the east of Bodhigaya's coast. The way she's drawn the map, you would guess it to be around up here. Indeed, the monk. Here's what I found out. I don't know the full details, but somehow. But back when Bodhigaya was first tamed by the Tamir Empire, the animal tribes fled into the forests, and meanwhile the humans took over. Bodhigaya was ruled over by a single woman in the Tamir Empire, only known as the Hand. Somehow, somehow she started capturing citizens of Bodhigaya, dissenters the such, and mutated them into creatures that would fight for them. These creatures wield the powers of the monk arts, but are twisted by the Temerian magics. They still defend these lands somehow, refreshing themselves, even digging up other bodies so that they continue anew. Yes. The Hand still splays itself over Bodhigaya, even after all these years. There was another realtor who explored here who said they had seen some sky bison, but I haven't seen those anywhere. Okay. Okay. I know you. Well, I haven't explored much of Tabibodi. I only got to the great gates of Tabibodi, and then I quickly fell back. From what I understand, one of the degenitors of the world is still there, the one they used to subdue Bodhigaya. Alquame, the demon lord of the night. I saw it very briefly, and I quickly moved away. There was no hope. Absolutely none. The heavy tower. The heavy tower. It was said it used to be the Feather Tower, and it was there that the monastic order. Sorry. That the monastic order of the. Shit. Sorry, I'm stumbling over my own words. It was there that the monastic order of the drunken master monks was located. It was said that to become a drunken master, you had to fight your way up the tower. I don't know what's become of it now, but now it looks like a solid iron tower, and monsters keep coming out of it. There's a lot of monsters around it. A lot. The entire village below it is infested with them. And it's only a long climb up the middle, in between two lakes, up a large mountain towards the tower. I don't know much about the Valley of the Rains. As far as I know, it would just be a long, brutal cleansing of the location. You would need an army to clear that place out. Beyond, the further out you get from these locations, the less tainted they are. We're in a relatively moderate tainted location. Up northeast, I encountered. The ethereal, the ethereal mountains seem to have a bad effect on this local area. About a day's travel out, things get a lot better from here, but they start to get worse around the heavy tower and Tabibodi again. In the northeast, I didn't encounter much taint, but there were still a few monsters there. Yes, but there still were a few monsters there. They resemble the. Like I said, they seem to still be the resurrected people, the former citizens of Borigaya. It's not a pretty sight, I'll tell you. You're a little quieter, Ben. Yeah, could you turn up your volume a little or scoot closer to the mic? Better. I I'm just curious, do you all plan on building your fortress here? Hmm. Very well, gentlemen. Let us begin then. Your party starts moving forward again, but the travel through the mountains took a long time, and only a few hours later, it's already nighttime. Or at least as far as you can tell, the sky has gotten darker. It's hard to tell in this place. Everything's just a strange kind of twilight right now, as you find yourself in a desolate stretch of forest here. I don't feel so good, Fushure. Okay. You all set up. You all begin looking around for camp, and eventually you will find a very kind of like rocky section in the middle of the forest. It's a large clearing. It's next to a very small kind of slanted cliff that would be good for hiding in, and and there's some trees around it as well. It's reasonably good cover. although the ground is kind of moist here. The trees are very low lying. They kind of like those trees that like have those weird like twist. Those like stereotypically like Asian like trees where they like slant a lot and they're like really knotted and stuff. Yes, bonsai trees. They're kind of like that here. So you just find yourself here for the night. With everything so dark here in Bodhgaya. The lake you passed by, filled with the strange magenta water, is but a distant glow now. I assume none of you tried to brave the waters there. Oh my gosh. Very well. Who will take watch? Okay. So Thamior's first watch? Oh my god, let me move you, sword. Third. And Fushare is last. And Gerald is second. Okay. Very well, gentlemen. And what formation would you like your camp to be in? You want to tuck the wagon beneath the tree the best you can? Okay. 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 The ostrich seems to have tried its best to weather the struggle, but it's very clearly exhausted. So is Elcor and the donkey. Those mountains were rough on their walk. You see Shift has just been silent this whole time, taking in the surroundings with a grim sort of fascination. Shingly Keys, meanwhile, has just been writing down some more details on her little journal there. Okay. Soren, you set up for first watch in this little glade. Looking out at all the rocks here. It was very dark when you got here, especially with the turning of night. And everything is just kind of quiet. You don't hear the normal sounds of a forest. A forest, I'm not sure how often you guys go outside, but a forest is actually pretty loud in the right circumstances. There's birds everywhere, there's insects. Right now, the silence is just striking. This is the kind of silence you hear when a predator is in the area. Indeed. Where are you keeping watch, Soren? Okay. This is a very, to be clear, this is a very expansive kind of uh, rocky area. The glade is massive. Think like about 150 feet across. Okay, sounds good. You'll be up on the cart so you can see over everything. And, okay. The rocks here are very irregularly shaped. kind of like forming little arches and stuff, although very low arches. Others litter the ground as if broken off teeth or something, but not quite teeth. They are very long and thin, glittering the ground. Do you guys have a campfire? You want to have cold rations tonight? Very well. And Soren, you have dark vision, correct? As you're keeping watch here, you see in one of these strange rocks someone crawl out from under them. You see a child. Their gender isn't clear as they've got a large set of bandages upon their head, kind of forming an almost turban, but not quite, with a lot of ribbons, and they seem to be wearing some sort of strange large knee pads. They look at you rather blankly and sorrowfully. They're kind of crouched as they step out, kind of walking like a frog in a funny way. The child will respond back in a boy's voice. Help us. Help us. Why, why, why am I so heavy? Why am I so heavy? Why are we so heavy? You toss a light next to the rock, and you see, and Soren, you will see the light will not reflect quite right on this rock. The light will not reflect right at all. We're so heavy. You hear another voice out in the forest. I'm so heavy. I'm. You wake Soren. You quickly wake up Fushure, hurrying over to him. To be clear, the light is reflecting right off of this child who has rather gray skin. The light is not reflecting right on the rock. On the terrain. The the child pops closer about 5 feet. It's not far from you, only a bit more. Another child will come out from a nearby rock. Fushure, you do know something about them. They are wearing the traditional Bodhigayan dress underneath their strange shoulder pads. These hats, the headwear they're wearing is very similar to what monks in training would wear. And they have minimal clothing on them as well, also similar to what monks would wear. You see the child start to grab a rock, long and skinny. A child will come out from underneath a tree. I'm so heavy. You throw as much salt as you can in the air. I assume, Soren, you would have been waking up everybody else by now? Okay. Soren? Everybody else, I'm going to bring you to the map. As the illusion will fade. And you will see everyone. Everyone. As you see them coming towards you one by one, holding giant hammers with eyeballs that are literally looking right at you. Long fangs in the other hand, ready towards your party. As you realize this is an ambush. Roll initiative! Oh yes, my apologies. To be clear, you've not had the benefits of a long rest yet. I believe there's an XGE rule on it. XGE, Xanathar's Guide to Everything. It was under Dungeon Master's tool, Sleep. Sleeping in armor. Sleeping in light armor has no adverse effect on the wearer, but sleeping in medium or heavy armor makes it difficult to recover fully during a long rest. When you finish a long rest, when you sleep in medium or heavy armor, you only regain 1/4 of your spent hit dice. If you have any levels of exhaustion, your exhaustion level isn't reduced. Do you only want to recover 1/4 of your hit dice? Okay, very well then. 3, 4, 5, 4. Sounds good. Let's begin then. Indeed, the rocks have quickly changed their appearance around you all, as you see that you are standing on a large gravesite with these children waiting for you all. The children of Bodhigaya, brought to wreak havoc on one of its returning members and their friend and their friends. We will begin! This child will run forward, running through as fast as they can, dashing up to you with a hammer and... Yes. This one will leap towards Fushure, using a praying mantis attack, swinging down with its fang, missing. But then it will use a crashing weight attack as it's flying up, but miss once again with a 13. This one will runs towards the cart, swinging at Shingly Keys. Protect me! Hitting her for 5 piercing damage with a 22. And then it will swing down with its hammer with its crashing wake, jumping through the air, but it will just about miss her. She pulls back up As you see, she rolls out of the way. No way. This one runs towards Christiana, using its crashing wake attack as well, hitting her with an 18, dealing 13 bludgeoning damage, as she is now weighed down by her regrets. On her next turn, she can only use her action or bonus action, not both. And then, as it has hit her with the crashing wake, it will strike forward with the prancing mantis strike, hitting with the fang. Fushure, these are all Bodhigayan martial arts, and they are stolen by the Temur Empire. They rush upon the rocks, striking down, crashing wake upon Soren. Missing, praying mantis attack, hitting as it stabs you with its fang for 8 piercing damage, hitting your temporary hit points. Fushure! As you conjure the animals, summoning forth the spirits of Bodhigaya. Which one do you want to choose? Very well, give me a second. Let me go to the bestiary. I'm going to hurry along with this. 1/8 or 1/4? Please choose 4 1/2 creatures. Okay. Fushure, you will summon forth 4 1/2 creatures. And you'll like this part. Oh my gosh. No. Give me a second. I'm trying to hurry up because I don't want to spend too long on this music. Okay. Very well. Give me a second. Creatures. As you see, the spirits will pour forth Fushure. You still possess some calling of Bodhigaya, as out of nowhere will appear 4 apes. Where do you want them? Here? As they will form a literal wall ready to defend the cart and a returning child of Bodhigaya. Anything else, Fushure? They will share 1 initiative. Bottom. Bonus action Wolf Stance. Do you have to have unoccupied space for that? I'm pretty sure the spell even specifies unoccupied space, sir. Although, it might specify differently for, Wild Shape. You can use this. While you're you then revert to the form. You can't cast. You can choose whether, okay, it doesn't say anything about you having to have free space for it. Yeah. Okay. And you want to change into the Dire Wolf? You will push them back slightly, as Fushure will be replaced by Wolf Fushure. Understood. Thamior! They come out of the darkness all at once. There's so many. First, targeting the first one, they have an AC of 13, and so that will hit at disadvantage, knocking it back 10 feet over here towards the apes. The other one will hit as well, knocking it back 10 feet, also towards the apes, as it will take 4 force damage. Anything else, Thamior? Behind the cart? Okay. I should have a place for the cart. Where do you guys think it should be? I'll place it down as a template. It'll be 3x2 squares. Here? Okay. Cart's kind of parked back there with the pack animals. Okay. Very well, Thaumior will end his turn. This child of Bodhigaia will run forward, dashing in the darkness, as yet another joins the melee, running forward ceaseless of any harm that could come to them. All these former monk acolytes, all turned, corrupted by the evils of the Temur Empire, all coming back to haunt the world. Gerald! In a better age, Fushure, these would have been your fellow students. But right now, for the rest of the party, all they are mere threats. Monsters in human form. Because of the red. As you bonus action, Shield of Faith, Gerald. Oh. Okay. This one? Okay, go ahead. Both will hit, dealing 10 force damage in total, skewering the child ghost thing. It will not even seem to notice the damage, just slumping along even though its leg is now hamstrung. Literally a bum leg that it just ignores in favor of a single path towards destroying. Forming a wall. As you prepare a parry stance. Okay, very well. This haunted regret will move forward. 35 feet dashing here, and it will continue to run forward, provoking from all three, if you wish. Fist. One ape will hit, dealing 4 bludgeoning damage. Although, oh wait, it won't provoke from Gerald because it's still in range. And it will end its turn here, next to Ratilda and Shift. Dashes forward. It will provoke from the gorilla, and from Gerald this time, as it will near over here, past the two. The gorilla will make an op attack, dealing 9 bludgeoning damage, socking the child across the face. Gerald, do you want to stab a child? Understood. This one will run forward over here, trying to get into the heart of the group. All of them trying to close the distance as fast as possible. They said they were heavy, but they don't seem heavy right now. Not until their hammers strike. Soren! Your party needs you to pull something out, my mans. Or the apes. What are you concentrating on? Ooh. Both of you are hasted. From both of them? Okay. Let's see. They can only use their crashing wake attack when they're getting a jump on somebody, so they'll use their pounding thunder, swinging their hammers at you. 16 and 14. Do either hit? Very well. 16 will hit for 8 bludgeoning damage. Anything else, Soren? Wait, your AC says 12 right now. If it meets or beats AC, it hits. That'll be another 4 bludgeoning damage. Anything else, Soren? Okay. The Haunted Regret will step back, and then will fly through the air, pounding down on this ape, using a crashing wake attack, missing with a 10. And then it will stab forward with a praying mantis attack. It will hit for 5 piercing damage on the ape, as you hear the ape scream in agony. This child will crashing wake the ape and hit for 24, dealing 8 bludgeoning damage, and the ape must take an action or bonus action, not both, on its next turn. Praying Mantis strike, hitting the ape with a 12, dealing 9 piercing damage. This one will also run forward. You're surrounded. Everything's chaotic. It's so dark here, and it's so hard to see anything. Also, holy shit, let me roll Fushuri Yovan's initiative. Oops. Let's see, what will Yovan do? He'll want to do something good. Okay, he will cast Sorry, I'm going to go back to Yovan's turn in a second. He's going to cast Spirit Guardians. As he has a radius of 15 feet, as he is literally glowing within this darkness here, emitting bright light for 15 feet, gentlemen. I'm going to just make that bright light for 15 feet so it's easy to tell where the radius is. Did either of them... No, they didn't begin their turn after within range. So, it's when Start enters the area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there. Very well. The apes will strike as one. These top two attempting to attack the singular one in between them, using a multi-attack of 2 fist attacks. 1 fist attack, crit fail. Another fist attack hitting for 7 bludgeoning damage, smashing the child across the face. The next 2 attacks will hit as well, dealing 9 bludgeoning damage, then 6, killing the child as you hear the bones snap, and you see the hammer will turn to blood and just seep into the ground, leaving a broken child's body. Oh my god. This ape, surrounded by these 3, will be undaunted, fighting for Bodhigaya. It will fist forward twice, but crit fail and miss with the second. This very injured one will use a multi-attack, striking the northeast one intelligently, but miss with both with an 11. This Haunted Regret will first, Pounding Thunder Fushuri, does a 20 hit with your haste, dealing 11 bludgeoning damage, and then will attempt to Praying Mantis with a Fang, hitting with a 24 for 6 piercing. Pounding Thunder on Fushuri, crit fail. Praying Mantis. The animals will fade! Wait. I'm gonna be generous. Give me a second. Yovan will speak up. Not today, master. He had like 4. I think he was like in the yellow, so let me bring him down to 12. There we go. And then he was like 4. There we go. Please, yes. Okay. As Fushuri, your concentration will be kept up very briefly, but that's the only shatter time I'm going to do for Yovan, okay? This child will strike forward at the ape. Pounding thunder, missing. Praying mantis, crit. Dealing 11 piercing damage as you see the ape scream as it pierces a lung. This is a real ape. It would not survive long after the battle. This one will pound on Christiana again. Pounding thunder, missing. Praying mantis, hitting through the haste for 10 piercing. Ah! But it has begun its turn. Yes, it has begun its turn in the spiritual guardians. So we'll take the damage. I might have to retroactive remove that because it might not survive this. Spirit guardians? Oh, it does not. Never mind, let me heal all that because this one died on the start of its turn from the spirit guardians. Oops. Wait, was that one the... No, it was this one, yeah, so it was this one. And then, let me heal her up for however much I dealt. So, that was plus... Yovan only does well when he's not here. Anyway, this one will strike at the weakened ape with a pounding thunder, hitting for 7 bludgeoning, killing this ape. Ah! As it turns into stardust upon dying. And then it will swing around with its praying mantis attack agilely, striking this ape as well. Fushuri! You are hasted. Yep. That will hit. Hey, that's not adding your strength modifier, so that's -3. Make sure to do plus at mod. Give me a second. I'll do it real quick. Bite. And, pack tactics. The wolf, you have to have 1 ally within range. The ostrich has not entered combat yet, but that's because it's still just sitting there. It hasn't been attacked yet. So plus at mod. And then the bite. Okay, that's fixed on the sheet. And then the strength modifier. And then the martial arts. Let me do that. Martial arts is with dex or strength? As a wolf, that will be strength. Okay. Elcor, it's your mount, right? Okay, I'm going to drag on the corrected token. You have 20 HP. Okay, it should be good now. Okay, Fushuri. Go ahead. And then you'll bite, and that will be enough to end this child. You murdered this child. As you snap into it, and it tastes... Wait, how are you using bite twice in a row? Oh, okay. As you crunch into it, its flesh tastes foul, undead, as you end the creature. Against whom? This one, that will hit for 5 bludgeoning damage. Anything else, Fushuri? Thaumior! Okay. Those will both hit, hitting this one for 3 damage, sending it flying back 10 feet towards the ape, surviving. The other one will hit, sending it flying back 10 feet towards this ape. And let me deal the damage to that one. There we go. Yep. Just trying desperately to protect Fertilda, Elcor, and Shift. Thank you! Oh! Thank you! He will crawl. He will climb on your back. You hear him beginning to dig through your backpack on the back. Do you have any sort of thing I can use? Throw at them? Anything? I don't know how to use those. Damn it. Very well, I will throw your tools at them. Shift will share your initiative since you've picked him up, and he will try to throw something, but he just misses badly. Okay. Anything else, Thamior? This one will step back slightly away, and then it will run forward with a crashing wake upon Fushure, but you recognize the style, Fushure, as you dodge it. It will try to stab forward with a praying mantis strike, and unfortunately it will hit, dealing 8 piercing damage with a 22. And the animals will fade, and this time the Shattered Time is not going to happen. This one will step up upon the dead skull here, jumping up upon the horn, and then jumping down on Gerald, using a crashing wake. Does a 19 hit Gerald? You have your parry stance out and your shield, correct? As its attack will just fly off your elemental shield as you stand firm, a bulwark for your team. It'll try to stab sneakily through your armor, but it will just bounce off your shield again. You're not falling for that. Oops, didn't mean to move the dead guy. Gerald! Oh, the one to your right. That one's dead. There's a skull. This one. To your right. Do you not have vision? You should have vision, right? Yep. Here. Oh. It was this one too, right here, that attacked you. You can attack both, sorry. Yep. I just click on my initiative window to pan to the token whose turn it is, so I don't always see him. Hitting for 6 slashing damage as you cut off some of this child's fingers, but it still wields the hammer expertly with 1. And then you slice again, cutting off its head, and the child will just flop down dead. Very well. Understood. This one is dead. Next, this child will step back a little, and then it will run at Gerald, crashing, waking him, missing, and then it attempts to spin around and do a praying mantis attack. These moves are getting familiar. They are skilled with it, but they are predictable. They only seem to know one style, typical of a monk adept. Although these ones are not so adept in death anymore. It will hit with a 20 against Gerald, dealing 9 piercing damage on him, hitting his temp HP. Oops. This one will strike forward at Fushure with a pounding thunder, critting! Fushure will hit for 17, knocking you out of your wild-shaped form. And then it will attempt to praying mantis you. Does a 17 hit in your normal form? Thank goodness, because it dealt max damage. Soren! Yes! The women and the children, too. Go ahead. Go ahead. Here, 20-foot radius. So, like that. Here, let me fill it in with a clearer color. Okay. Do you want this one? Do you want to risk? Uh... Okay. Very well. Fushure, make me a dexterity saving throw. Oh my god. Woo! Let's go. Oh, shit, son! No. I like it if you roll again. Okay. You dodge out of the way, and I think as a monk you take no damage, right? Okay, so you take half. Okay, so you're a little burnt, but the inspiring speech from earlier, combined with your luck, allows you to dodge out of the way. You're burning, but these ones I don't think will be so lucky. This one will instantly die, just burned alive, yelling in horror and pain. Ah! I'm so light now! This one will attempt to dodge, and it will fail as it will be burned alive in one fell blast. This one will make a dex save, and it will fail as it is burned alive in one fell blast. I'm just going to start using their double rolls. This one failed. It's dead. Boop. A boop. Next one. It will roll. Dex save. It will crit pass, but it will still take half damage. It is incredibly weakened now. This next one passes well, taking half damage. This one failed. And it will die instantly as you burn it alive, sending it off to the light. And this next one failed as well, burned alive as you send them in a funeral pyre, burning off into the sky. Anything else, Soren? A fire lights. How? Okay. Go ahead. You fire off a radiant shot. 11 will miss. AC 13. Okay. It is Yovan's. Then it is Yovan's turn, as he will stride forward, getting them all in his radius, and then he will cast Toll of the Dead. Actually, and then let's see, 2d12. They are not resistant to necrotic damage. No, they're immune, so, would he be smart enough to know not to necrotic and undead? Yovan would do it? Okay. Toll of the Dead doesn't work, then. He would be smart enough to have Radiant for his Toll of the Dead, though. For the damage type. Yeah, you do. I mean, for, sorry. Maybe. But since there is an alignment in this, I let them choose for Spirit Guardians. If you're good or neutral, or if you're evil. Well, he's good, so. All these dead ones I'm marking. This one's still alive. It will step back 10 feet, and then it will run forward, using a crashing wake on Fushure, missing. And then it will praying mantis, hitting for 21. I believe that hits. Dealing 5 piercing damage. This one will start its turn, and it will make a wisdom saving throw. And it will, let's see, what is his DC? Let me ping Spirit Guardians. He's down to 2 out of 3 on his spell slots, so. And then I do not want to consume a spell slot. So that'll be 14 radiant damage this round. And this one, it will take the 14 radiant. And it is nearly dead, but it does begin its turn. And so it will Pounding Thunder Gerald, hitting for 21. dealing 14 bludgeoning damage. And then will Praying Mantis try to jab its needle in his armor desperately, but it will fail. This one will die, is dead. Fusure, there's not many left. Miss. Hit. Which one? Left or right? Left or right? Killing it. Okay, 5 foot. And you want to shove it against this creature? Ends its turn within 5 feet. Okay. Okay. Thaumior. "24 will hit the weak one, but it's not yet killed, as it's aimed well, but unfortunately it will falter, and the second one will just miss straight out." Yes, it will. This will be pushed 10 feet back. Thaumior. Anything else? Okay. Shift will next throw your hammer. Oh! Crit failing as he almost hits you with it. These not good. The Haunted Regret will pass the wisdom save on the Spirit Guardians. It takes half damage, so it only takes 7 radiant. And then it will stab forward, aiming at Gerald. Pounding Thunder missing. Praying Mantis crit failing. Gerald! You swing your sword back and forth. You swing your sword back and forth. Whooshing! Hitting it badly, wounding it, but not killing it, and the 10 will miss. Your stand. Dio! Very well. Gerald once again parry stances. Soren! Very well. And that will hit, finishing it off. Hitting for 7 radiant, and then 4 fire damage, sending it flying back 5 feet to the ground, pinned there by your arrow. Okay. Very well. Yovan will look to the one next to him, and he will simply bring down a sacred flame. Hitting for 8. This will be enough to kill it if it fails the dex save. It does not fail the dex save. Oh, this one is dead. This one is dead. Fusure, finish this. Only one left. You slam the flaming sphere into it, intending on giving it a true Viking funeral. That will be enough to kill it. If it fails the deck save, right? It will roll a deck save. And it will fail. And with that, for now, initiative is over. As you see, as Fushuri starts putting out the fire, and everything is quiet once again, your bones crunch on the rocks beneath you, and you see that most of them are indeed bones. These seem to have been larger creatures who died here, and there's a lot of them. They are very old looking. Many of them have sunken partially into the ground. Some of them look to have started rising up recently. And overall, it is a very morbid sight right now. Yovan will gently let his spiritual guardians fade. And then come back to Cart. Woo! I'm exhausted. I have a throat infection. Thank you. Damn. Those things. What the hell? They're just a bunch of kids. What happened to them? They tasted undead when you were a wolf, and they certainly look undead. Shingley will speak up. Look at those symbols upon them. Those are the symbols of the hand. These were yes. These you see those symbols there? Those are Bodhigayan symbols, the original Draconic alphabet. Written there, simply the hand. She points to a symbol on, well, their hand. I actually don't know. I mean, the hand, she was human. I don't think she would. Yeah. I mean, I have seen Stranger Things. Looks around at all the bones. That may be ideal. Sounds good. Thamior setting them up for a Viking funeral. To be fair, this is how Minnie and Bodhigaya were disposed of. They didn't do large, elaborate funerals, choosing instead to burn them up and leave them to fertilize the soil. Some Bodhigayan funeral rites went even further and just left the bodies out in a forest to rot and feed the scavengers there. They were... It's a... yes. You all start burning these bodies. The hammers all faded upon their deaths, but the bones they wielded were very dry, and they will catch fire along with the old headdresses that they wear. As you see them burning away, and underneath you can see, underneath their clothing as they burn away, you can see the physical physiques of clearly of a monk of some sort. You know that the monastic orders were savaged. They taken away where they weren't killed defending Bodhigaya. And it seems you've discovered what's happened to them, Fushuri. What? Okay. You pinging your, oh my god, he did. Anyway, pinging your divine sense, you look around, feeling for any undead. This definitely feels like a desecrated area, Gerald. but it seems that you've ended the undead for now. But as a base paladin knowledge, you know that desecrated land tends to draw undead. This, although the funeral pyre, while necessary, along with the desecrated land, may serve to attract more. And more importantly, this land was disguised by an illusion. This was a deliberate thing. Okay. Okay. You all burn their bodies and quickly move on. You may not have taken away their regrets at seeing their land savage, but you have managed to give them some semblance of peace. And for these monk adepts, that may be more than they could have ever hoped for in their own death. You walk away, finding a slightly less desolate location. I assume you're going to check it carefully to make sure it's not full of bones. Yes. You find a new campsite, one that's simply just between two cliffs. You check the rocks to make sure they're not bones. The land is not desecrated, and so you all settle down for the night. And you'll get your long rest, and we'll pick things up next time.